Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Sippin' Sports. Apologize for the delay. We all slept in a little bit, but hey, it's Saturday morning. We're still getting started within 20 minutes of the show. And there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot of breaking news. So get your cup of joe, get your coffees ready, because there's a ton to break down. I'm Dalton, joined today by Chaos Chris and KJ McCoy. Like I said, we'll kick it off with the opening day recap. That was horrendous. Should we let Chris take it first, KJ? I think he's going to have a lot to say.
Go for it, Chris.
I've been saying all offseason they needed to go get some bullpen help. What the fuck happened? I knew it. I knew this was going to happen. The bullpen shit the bed. You know, the hitters can't hit. We got Bryce Harper making $300 million. Trey Turner making $300 million. Both of them suck. Can't hit a damn thing. This team's doomed. They're done. Season's over already. Throw in the towel. They suck. Bums. Connor Brogdon, get that skinny little Slenderman looking bitch out of here.
Oh, geez. Yeah, it was very disappointing to watch that game yesterday. We were all hyped up. We saw our good friend PSG, or as Philly captain likes to call him, face paint guy, there till 7 o'clock in the morning. So everybody was pumped up, and it seemed like it was going to be a great opening day. I mean, you saw us take the lead. Brandon Marsh, a 2-run homer. That was electric. And this was till the 7th inning. And then all of a sudden, everything just started spiraling down. And the bullpen, once Wheeler had a great day. Wheeler looked great. But then once you got the other pitchers in, we were doomed. Strom came in. Strom, oh my God, he started letting hits run and everything like that. Letting hits up and everything like that. So Strom, all those guys from the bullpen, as Chris was saying, they needed to make moves. It's off season, and they just did not. So, yeah, it's unfortunate. Hopefully they can bounce back today, and hopefully the bats will be flying. I hope.
It's been interesting, and you know me, amateur Phillies fan. But yesterday, from what I saw, was a real letdown. As I was checking in on the game at work, I was like, okay, the Phillies are in control. They have a pretty good hold on this game. And then the 7th inning stretch happened. And I believe, 7 runs that they put up? Was it in the 8th inning?
Around that.
Too many.
Around that, yeah.
It was the last 2 innings of the game. So I think it was the 8th and the 9th. And it's like, what are you guys doing? And like Chris said, all season long, they're preaching, this is the best bullpen in baseball. This is deep. This is a very good. No, it's not. It's not at all. It's not deep. So it's very, very frustrating as a Philadelphia Phillies fan to be told all these things and then be let down. I know it's the first game. I know it's game 1. There's plenty of baseball to be played, but it's not a good way to start off the year. I'll leave it at that.
Especially since it's like, I know spring training doesn't mean anything. It's spring training, but they were doing this all spring training. They were choking all these games all spring training. So to see this extend from spring training to now, it is a big concern. And, you know, your best reliever, who's Alvarado, shits the bed completely. That's not great either. He had 5 earned runs just yesterday. All last year, he had 8 earned runs. That's not great. That's really not great. So we'll see where they go. I mean, they got to win today, at least. We'll see what else happens.
Yeah, the Braves are a good team, but to let a lead happen like that, blow a lead, it was disappointing for sure. And you saw all the fans leaving, and I bet you, they were spending their good, hardworking money on that game yesterday. And I thank God that I wasn't. I'm not saying they were stupid. I was saying to myself,
yeah, you are.
Maybe
I said it. I said it.
Yeah.
I said it to Alyssa. I said,
Okay.
thank
All
God
right.
I didn't spend money on that game. I'd be pissed.
I bought
walking
11
out of
games
there.
for $99. These people just bought one for like $180
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah. So honestly, I was like, you know what? At least I'm not there. At least I'm not freezing my ass off, and the players aren't playing their best. So it's like, it was pretty disappointing. I'll say that.
Agreed. Phillies, get it together, please, for the hope of God. You know who's trying to get it together? Our Philadelphia Flyers. They are playing Russian roulette. They are loading up the gun right now. They got him on the plane. What are they doing right now when shit hits the fan? They're bringing in the Russians. And I love it.
in Mother Russia.
It was really in Siberia.
They're
He was-
bringing him in. Mother
Siberia. That's why he wasn't over here before, because he got arrested and he got forced to go to Siberia. So now we got this tough motherfucker coming into Philadelphia. You ain't gonna go on
6'7", I heard, right?
What?
He's a big dude.
6'7".
Yeah, 6'7",
Yeah,
6'8",
he's gonna
something
just
like that. He's a
fucking take
big
up
dude.
the net.
He's
He's
taking
just
up
a
the whole
body.
goal. He's gonna take up the whole goal. He might be able to play for the Sixers as well, like on freaking the next day or
Well,
whatever.
probably be better than everybody on that shitty team.
Yeah.
The thing I will say too is, I'll leave it at this. Carter Hart, get ready to learn Russian, buddy. It's seriously going to be weird though, because Carter Hart's going to end up going to a different area. This guy's coming here. And does it scare you guys
prison.
at all that this guy has
Yeah, he's a prison.
felony,
He's gonna be in prison.
or that this guy could kind of end up in the same scenario? Or you guys think that we're in the green light now? We're good to go.
This guy's not gonna do what Carter Hart did. There's no way.
No,
I'm not saying that, but didn't he have like a, Chris, you said a crime that he did or something?
Yeah, he tried. Well, wouldn't be a crime here. It's a crime. Like you have to serve an amount of time in the Russian military. So technically, he did a crime there, but it wouldn't have been a crime here. So yeah, like we'll see. Well, the other one that came over is younger. He's starting in the AHL. He's probably going to be that future goalie. I think his name is Koloslov or something. Another Russian dude. He's the one who's like that top prospect type dude. The other guy, Fedakov or something. I can't pronounce any Russian name for my damn life. But he's just a guy who's going to come in here and be a solid backup goalie from day one. So it'll take some pressure off of Ersan, who hasn't really been playing well lately, who I'm sure we'll get into that a little bit here. The whole team hasn't really been playing well lately.
Trash.
Yeah, I'll be at the game tonight, actually. So I'll be there tonight.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I'm really just going to go see Bedard and see a couple friends. So that's really the reason I'm going.
Bedard or retard.
Yeah. So we'll see. What
Are you
happens.
excited at all to see Bedard?
Yeah, I want to see the prospect. I want to see how good he is, the hype.
Flip him off.
So I just kind of want to see what's going on with the kid.
He looks like he's going to cry every time he's on the ice.
It does seem like he's got that kind of face. It looks like he's about to...
I want to see somebody just knock his ass out tonight. Light him the fuck up.
Is it Flyers Blackhawks tonight?
Yeah, Flyers Blackhawks. Yep, 7 o'clock. I think.
Yeah, that place is going to be loud. That place is going to be roaring. You're going to get some good content there. I can see it now.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
However, if they do choke and if they do lose, we're going to be pissed. KJ, why don't you go ahead and take it first? I mean, Flyers are slipping out of the playoffs. It's not a good look from what we started off with.
Yeah, they're slipping, and this is crucial time. I mean, you got to get your act together if you want to get in the postseason. And I mean, you got a lot of fans behind you, and a lot of fans believing in you that you're going to be in the postseason. And I mean, if you don't make it, you're going to have a lot of fans that are going to be disrupted, and they're going to be pissed. So, yeah, they got to get their act together. Hopefully, they can, and Torch has got to get them in the right direction. I feel like that's what this team needs to do, and they need to get back to that hard-nosed hockey that they were playing in the beginning of the season.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they've had a lot of injuries this whole season. And it seems like some of them are coming back, though. They got Nick Seeler coming back tonight, big D man, which they need that big D. That D has been really lacking. It's been drooping.
Hey!
I thought I was the only one hearing that, too.
They need that D to be big. So
You love saying that word, don't you?
hopefully, Sealer coming back helps that. And it's just the injuries are mounting up, and hopefully they can just like stop the bleeding and just sneak their way into the playoffs. We'll see. We didn't expect too much out of this team to begin with. It sucks that they're slipping out right now, but hopefully they're able to just slip that D right back in there and they're good.
I'll tell you one thing, Flyers. Don't freaking let the Islanders get in and not you. I swear to God, if I hear that freaking Matt Bear up in New York freaking be like, oh, the Islanders made it. The Flyers did it. Shut up, Matt, you bandwagon. Shut up. Get a haircut, hippie. You're muted.
He's
again.
wearing his 49ers jersey. Well, he said that. I just want you to know that. Oh, my God. We love Matt Bear, though. We're going to get him on the show. Stay tuned for that. In my opinion, it's like this. For the Flyers, you guys are saving grace. You guys were our savior for a little bit. You made it fun to watch when Philly sports weren't really fun in a bad time, in a dark time. I mean, it was the beginning of how do I put it? Eagles season. So the Eagles are winning, but it's expected, right? You know what I mean? Like regular season wins are exciting, but we had just lost in the playoffs of the MLB. I forget what it was, the NLCS we just lost in.
Yes, I believe so, right, Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah, so everybody's depressed as shit. And then the Flyers are coming out playing really good hockey. And we're like, okay, maybe this team has a chance. And now you're not even going to make the playoffs? Come on. It's a letdown for me. It's a real letdown. So get your shit together. I think Torts is going to figure it out. I think he's going to put his foot up this team's ass. And who knows? I think either I'll leave it at this. I think either the Sixers or the Flyers, one of the two, will make a run in the playoffs. I don't know which one. I think if I rolled the dice, at least one of the two, probably the Flyers have a better chance of it. But one of them is going to surprise us and make a run.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. That's
I don't know.
too much faith.
I think you're being a little optimistic there, bud.
I'll be the optimistic one today, but not on this topic. Not on this topic. KJ McCoy, is it time for the Philadelphia 76ers to call it quits?
Oh man. I mean, that horrifying game that just happened against the Clippers with the referees freaking probably making bets on the freaking game. That's probably one of the worst officiating I've ever seen in basketball. That was horrible. There's so many calls that went the Clippers' way, and it just seemed like they were like the refs had something on the game. So it was really skeptical. It was. So yeah, I mean the Sixers right now, you got Oubre calling all the refs bitch and everything like that. That was funny. He's like, you a bitch, you a bitch, you a bitch.
Your mom's a bitch. Your grandmother's a bitch.
Yeah. So he was going pretty crazy. I mean, he was throwing the shots for sure.
$50,000
Nick Nurse
fine.
was about to knock out one of the refs. That was pretty intense. So yeah, and he had every right to do that because they were horrible. But yeah, I mean, we don't know when the heck Embiid's gonna be back. So it's like we hear like, oh, he's gonna be back in a couple weeks. No, it's gonna be until like the beginning of the playoffs. Like it's just like we don't know. Like, oh, he practiced with the team. It's a bunch of like, it seems like it's in like a loop right now. Like we don't know what the heck is gonna happen with Joel Embiid. Is he going to play for the Sixers? I would not be surprised if honestly in the playoffs we think, oh, Embiid's gonna be back, and he's not back, and it's more serious than we thought.
If he's back, he's not really going to be back. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, there's something up. There's something up. I think that the injury that he has is way more serious than it's actually being public. So that's what I think is going on.
We know how the Sixers doctors have been throughout this, and this is dating back to Embiid 2015, 2016. Like it was like every year, like, oh yeah, he'll be back in a couple weeks, and then it was like the whole season was done. Like I remember that happened
with Andrew Bynum. It was like that with Andrew Bynum too.
Andrew Bynum. It happened with Ben Simmons.
Yeah. Like this medical staff, I don't know what's wrong with them, but it seems like they're a bunch of boneheads over there.
Alyssa wanted to say hi. How do you feel about the Sixers? Is it time to give up yet?
You muted yourself.
I don't think.
How do you feel about the Sixers? Is it time to trade Embiid?
Sure. Dalton says yes, so I'm going to.
It's time to trade Embiid. There it is.
Now you can say hi. Now you figured it out.
Yeah. All right. Have fun.
Thank you. Alyssa's like, can I come say something? I'm like, yeah, trade Embiid would probably be the right answer right about now. And I never thought that I would say that because there's actually a funny story with Alyssa. I told KJ this story a couple months back. This is the Embiid jersey story, KJ. I know you know where I'm going at with this. So this is like my sophomore year of college. I can pick any jersey I want for Christmas time. I love what were they called with the Boathouse row on them?
That was the City Edition. Ben Simmons designed those, actually.
Loved them. Thought that they were cool as shit. Really wanted one. And I remember I was like, Alyssa was like, all right, for your birthday, I'll get you one. You can pick whatever one you want. Do you want Simmons or Embiid? I'm like, I don't want the big man. I'm a little dude. I want Simmons. So we
That's
end
a
up ordering
610
Simmons online. It takes like freaking 3 or 4 months. It's on back order. We finally go to a Sixers game and they had the jerseys there. And she's like, do you want one? I'm like, yeah. And they had Embiid in my size. They didn't have Simmons in my size. So I end up getting Embiid. Think that worked out pretty well, didn't it? Because I would
Did you
have
get the
that
Simmons
Simmons
jersey? Did
jersey.
you
So
ever get it
we
or not?
canceled it. We canceled it. We got our money back. And then
Jeez.
she ended up just spending it on the Embiid jersey,
There you
which
go.
I still wear to this day. I like how they look. I think that they're a pretty cool jersey, but fuck Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. Let us know in the comments. Do you guys have any jerseys that you can't wear that, you just have to sort of retire? Because there is one now that some people might say they're going to have to retire. Haason Reddick, unexpectedly on the move. How are we feeling about this, guys?
I'm pissed.
Yeah.
And this is a lot on Reddick too, because Reddick wanted that big contract, which he did not get from the Jets. So I think this is frustrating in a couple different ways. One, that pick's not until 2026, which if the Eagles would have let Reddick walk this year, they would have gotten a comp pick in 2026, which would have been a 3rd round pick. Now, yes, this can be a 2nd round pick if he plays a certain amount, but still, like, you don't get a pick until 2026. And what are you going to do now? Like, he was your best player. And, it's one thing if he would have got that big mega contract from the Jets. You're like, okay, whatever, fine. But he didn't. He's playing there on the same contract he was going to play here this year. So, that's $6 million they saved. They better do something with that this year. Or else this is a bad move by Howie Roseman.
Yeah, it was I was watching the Phillies game and someone told me in the comment section on my TikTok and I was like, no, there's no way. And then I was like thinking to myself, yeah, there probably is a way, to be honest, with what's been spiraling for like about a month. And we've been talking about this. So, I mean, especially after we thought Josh Sweat was going to be the victim, we thought he was going to be the guy that was going to be shipped out. We thought he was going to be traded. I mean, he even said it himself. And then it turned out that he got the contract re-signed and everything like that. The Eagles re-signed him. But yeah, I was like, all right, yeah, this is probably going to happen. You keep on hearing about Haason Reddick getting traded. And I was like, I kept on hearing 3rd round pick, maybe 2nd round if we're lucky. But yeah, we got a 3rd round pick and he's going to the Jets. I mean, it's not too far, but I mean, it's the other green team and it's going to probably hurt to see him.
It's a different shade of green.
Yeah, it's gonna hurt. But he was such a dominant player here, as Chris said. He was only here for 2 years, but he led the team in sacks. What was it, last year and the year before, I believe? Or it was just the 1 year?
Both years.
I think it both years, yeah.
Both years.
It's going to end up being a dumbass decision. I'll agree with Chris.
Force. My dad who went to Temple, I told him that yesterday. Like, so the trade happened and my dad was pissed. My dad was like, he was like, Howie freaking Roseman. He's like, you make one good decision, the next week you screw it up. He's like, come on. So it was just, I don't know what was in Howie's mind with this, but as Chris said before, this could bite us in the ass. Like this.
They better hope that Nolan Smith and Huff can play.
Yeah. It's pretty much a swap if you think about it, because
that's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah.
But we got think about it though. We got a younger player on a smaller contract though.
Yeah.
So there's that as well. I don't have the problem with them trading Reddick. I don't even have a problem with the return. I have a problem with the return in the year they got him. It's 2026. If that was a 2025 draft pick or a 2024 draft pick, it's a lot different because that means you would have gotten that comp pick a year earlier. If they would have let him walk at the end of the season next year, that would have been a 2026 comp pick. That's the problem I got.
I'll say this. He doesn't fit our system with Vic Fangio. We know that. So there's that to be said. They get what they can for him. And at least he doesn't go to a team like the Cowboys. Like how he cockblocks him and sends him to a team where they're probably going to be out of it for some reason. I don't know what it is, knock on wood. I'm not hoping on it, but there's going to be some wild freaking thing that happens that bars them from making the playoffs within the first 5 weeks of the NFL next year. And then we're going to be like, oh, okay, Haason Reddick is pretty much a paperweight right now. You know what I mean? I don't mean that in a mean way. It's just like he's a great player on a team that maybe he's not going to do anything with subpar QB play. Aaron Rodgers, I hate to admit it, but he's not the player that he was. I hope I'm wrong on that because I'd love to see him play, but he's a little bit more fragile than he used to be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Do you guys think that Bryce Huff is an upgrade at all, or do you think it's going to take time for that to, like, a return on that investment? Like, it's going to take time to see that accrue?
I think it really depends on the other guys in that system. I mean, we got to think about, 2 years ago when Reddick had 16 sacks, you had Fletcher Cox, who was playing at the top of his game too. Sweat was at the top of his game. Graham had more, they had 70 sacks.
Yeah, that was nuts.
It's a different defense now, so the sacks are going to be hard to quantify. The thing that I think Huff can do a little bit better is he can play the run a little bit better, and that's what they're going to need in this new system, especially with the way your linebackers are. We got Devin White, who looked like he couldn't really play the run at all last year, and Nakobe Dean, who can't stay on the damn field. So it's going to be a different type player who hopefully will make a similar type impact, but you just don't know, especially with edge rushers.
Yeah, you really don't know. I feel like Bryce Huff could be a good move, but he is undrafted. I mean, he wasn't drafted, so that's kind of the problem. I mean, they paid him like he was like a player that was drafted. So, yeah, he's got some big shoes to fill. And then, as Chris said before, Nolan Smith. I mean, a young player. He's got a big opportunity now to kind of fill that void that Haason Reddick has kind of left. So we'll see if he can step up to the plate and actually do it. So I hope he can, but it's going to be tough because the only Georgia player that out of all these Georgia Bulldog players that we've seen succeed so far, and I would probably say Jalen Carter, but maybe also Kaylee Ringo, I feel like could be that player as well, too, from Georgia. That could be an uprising player as well.
I love what Chris said about Nolan Smith. I think that's a great point. I would love to see Nolan Smith start to get more of a leadership role here. He deserves it. That's what we drafted him for. Last year, we wondered for the first half of the year, okay, why aren't we seeing him? Second half of the year, when we did see him, we're like, okay, why isn't he playing well? He needs opportunity. He needs time. It takes time to develop as a player in the NFL. As Nick Sirianni once said when he first came here, it's going to grow. Talking about a plant analogy. And seriously, he's right. It takes time to grow as a player, as a human being. I think this year, Nolan Smith is going to have a real leg up. I think he's comfortable here. He's happy here. I think now he's seen it for a year. He's seen the intensity level of the NFC East, not of just the NFL, of the NFC East. The NFC East is a different beast in the NFL. There hasn't been a continuous champion 2 years in a row since 2004. So every year, it's like a freaking Rubik's Cube in the NFC East. You don't know what you're going to get. So you got to give the guy credit on that. So I really love Chris's take about Nolan Smith, and I hope that we're going to see that jersey sold in the store this year a lot. KJ, I got a question for you. What are you going to do with the 7 jersey now? Are you going to keep it as a Reddick?
That's funny you already asked that because
Michael Vick.
move on it.
Here we go.
Already made a move on it, unfortunately, but yeah. So
No way. You already took the Reddick off the back. He just got traded.
Already did. Yep.
It's not even official yet.
I was pretty mad. So, I mean,
He comes back.
And now I'm going to probably turn it into a Jaworski or a Michael Vick jersey, so nobody else will break my heart like that. So
A Jaworski's a good idea. That would be kind of a classic Kelly Green one.
I got one of those, yeah.
Yeah, I might just do that.
The one guy that we're not thinking about right now because he's not an edge rusher is Jalen Carter. I mean, he steps up. He gets double-digit sacks next year, and then that's a little bit different of a story. Maybe you get the sacks from a different spot instead of the edge rusher.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, he's got some big shoes to fill. I mean, especially since Fletch is gone, so he's muted again.
So text me if you want something. They'll probably have more.
Sorry, I'm learning what's for breakfast. That's a good thing to learn when you're at the store.
Yeah, it is a good thing to learn.
Do you guys have anything else to say about Reddick? I mean, that's pretty much our last topic anyway.
Thank you, Haason, for your time here. And unfortunately,
No, fuck you,
yeah,
bitch.
Thank you, Haason. Yeah, for real.
No,
need to
you
suck
requested out. Get the
lead.
fuck out. Goodbye.
Well, that's pretty much everything we got. You guys hear it, Chris saying F you to Haason Reddick, me and KJ thanking him for his
We
time
thank
here.
you, we
But
thank
that's
you.
why
Sorry
you guys
about
love
Chris.
and follow this show, the diversity of opinion. Please subscribe if you can. Drop a follow on all social media outlets if you haven't. And we'll see you next Saturday on time. I can promise you that.
Yeah, we got you. Yeah.
As always, God bless. Go Birds. And let's hit that outro.
And go Phils. Hopefully bounce
Go
back.
Phils.
This is ballpark Tommy. This team is making me feeble. Oh my God.
Philly's giving me a fucking heart attack in the season didn't even start yet.
Come on, Phillies. You fucking suck. Come back. I need you.